Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Hope you're all keeping safe during this time. Today we're going to be making some tasty donuts. They are very smooth and very soft and very yummy. I would like for you to give them a try at your home. So you're going to start with our dry ingredients in a bowl. We're going to put in our flour. After we are going to add in our sugar. We have 3 tablespoons of sugar. I've already weighed it in here for you guys, so we will add it in 3 tablespoons sugar, and then we are going to add in our salt. I have a teaspoon of salt. Just weigh it in with your spoon that you have at home. Half teaspoon of salt. So we are going to be mixing all our dry ingredients first. Just assemble them all together in the bowl. Give them a good mix. So next we are going to add in our nutmeg spice. This is just to spice up our donuts, give it more taste and more flavor. We are going to be adding a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, just to give it more flavor. Next we are going to come in to our dry ingredients. So I have my milk already warm. You need to warm your milk. This is going to activate our dry yeast that we are also going to be mixing inside here. So you also need to melt your butter. That is the second one I've added inside the milk. Melt your butter, add it into the milk mixture, add your yeast, and then our egg. Oopsie. We add our egg inside, and then we're going to give this also a good mix. Ensure that they are well incorporated. Just give it a good mix, guys. Ensure that your egg is well beaten inside. You can use a whisk if you prefer. Just use anything you have in your kitchen. You don't need to stress yourself. For my case, I was using a spoon. Okay, now we are going to add our dry ingredients into our wet ingredients, into our dry ingredients. So add them as you are mixing all of them together. Give them a good mix until you feel that your dough is becoming sticky. So we need a sticky dough, guys, for us to get a smooth smooth donuts once we finish. So don't be worried, don't add any more flour inside here. Just follow the recipe and just give it a good mix. We need a sticky dough. At the end of this, we need to get a sticky dough. So here, this is how it looks like, our dough. So we're just going to mix it until all the flour has been mixed with the wet ingredients. All the dry ingredients have been mixed with the wet ingredients. Continue giving it a good mix. Now I'll be using my wooden spoon to make my work more easier. Just give it a good mix. If you have a spatula in your home, you can use a spatula. I preferred using this wooden spoon. Just use anything you have, guys, in your kitchen. Okay, now for us to make our work easier, we're going to transfer this onto our working area. So I'm just going to wipe my working area, make it ready for me to use, and I'm going to rub over some oil over my working area so that it's going to be easy for me to knead this dough because it is very sticky. so you're going to have to oil your surface area. So for you to knead this dough, because it is very sticky and that is how we want it. So we are going to knead our dough for 10 to 15 minutes. Don't get tired, guys, just be patient with this. Knead your dough for about 10 to 15 minutes. After you finish kneading, your dough should be very smooth. So after 10 minutes, guys, after kneading your dough for 10 minutes, it should be this smooth and elastic. Once you stretch it, it's very elastic. This is what you're looking for, guys. So we are going to be putting it back into our bowl. We're going to oil our bowl first of all, and we're going to set in our dough, and then we're going to leave it for 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes. We're going to cover it with a kitchen cloth. We're going to let it to rise first. After 1 hour 30 minutes, we're going to uncover our dough. This is how it's looking like. It has doubled in size. You can see it, guys, and it's going to be very easy to work with this. So you're going to dust now with so we're going to dust our surface area with some flour for easier work, for us to have easy rolling out our dough. So we're going to roll out our dough to about half to 1 inch thickness. It should not be too thin, it should be thick, like 1 inch thickness. And then we are going to set them aside and let them rest for another 20 minutes before frying them. While you are rolling out, you need to have your pan ready with some oil. After rolling out your dough to 1 inch thickness, now it's time to cut our donut shape. I want it to be circular. So since I don't have a cookie cutter, if you have a cookie cutter, best for you to use. Since I didn't have a cookie cutter, I'll be using my cup. I improvised. I'll be using my teacup to cut the circular shape, and then I'll be using a bottle top, to like a water bottle top, to cut the middle shape. So to get the round shape in the middle, I'll be using a bottle top. Just improvise, guys, with anything you have in your kitchen. If you have a cookie cutter, best reserve for you, or any molder that you have in your kitchen, use. So for my case, I'll use this bottle top and my cup to get my desired shape. So after cutting your desired shape, mine are circular in shape, I'm going to dust my working area with some flour, and then I will remove the donut shape, the circular dough shape. I will put them on the dusted working area, and then we are going to leave them to rest for another 20 minutes for them to rise again, and then from here we are going to fry them. So you're going to repeat the whole process with the rest of the remaining flour, the ones that you've cut out, the ones that you're not using. You will need to knead it again for a few minutes only, just little kneading, and then roll it out again into 1 inch thickness, and then cut them again until you finish with all of your dough, and then you are ready to start frying. After 20 minutes of leaving my dough to rest, after cutting them out into my circular shape, the ones that I preferred, this is how they are looking like, very smooth on the surface, and they have definitely increased in size. So now it is time for us to fry them. Okay, so you are going to set your oil, start heating up your oil. You want your oil to be at a temperature of 160 degrees Celsius. If you do not have a thermometer in your kitchen, you can just try and look at it with your eyes. Okay, so like you need to have one dough for a test shot. You need to first of all test your oil. You need your oil to be medium hot. You don't need to be too high, because if it is too high, your dough is going to brown. It's going to brown very quickly, and it's also going to get a very dark brown to burnt color because if your oil is high, your dough is going to brown very quickly, and on the inside is not going to be cooked. And if your dough is also, and if your heat is too low, your dough is going to suck in too much oil inside. So you just need to check like your oil. Just cut a piece of dough, keep on testing with it until you get the right temperature. This is the only way, guys, if you don't have a thermometer. Okay, so I had already done my test shot and my oil is at the right temperature. So you just need to be careful. If your oil is too hot, your donuts are not going to be cooked inside. So you need to test it, guys. Like any dough that is left, test with it to ensure that your oil is at the right temperature. And then you need to start frying all your donuts until the end, until you finish. So this is how they're looking like, guys, after deep frying them for a few minutes. Very nice golden brown color. If you want it darker, feel free to keep it in the oil for a longer time. I like them like this, very nice and smooth. Wow, they're looking very lovely. So you're going to add in the rest of your dough. Just keep on frying them until you finish with the whole of your batch. Finally, we are going to be making some sauce for our donuts. We're going to dip our donuts in this sauce. So we have our ingredients here. We have our milk, we have our icing sugar, we have our 2 1/3 sticks of butter, and then we have our vanilla essence. So we're going to be melting our butter, and then we're going to be mixing all of the ingredients in a bowl. Mix them well, and then we're going to be dipping our donuts into our sauce, just to give them more flavor. If you prefer, you can eat them as they are without the sauce, but the sauce adds more flavor, more sweetness to your donuts. Or if you prefer, you can add other toppings. You can add Nutella, you can add some chocolate sauce, you can put some sprinkles on top of your donuts, anything that you prefer, guys. Just play around, be creative with your donuts. And this is how our donuts are going to be looking like. Very tasty, very nice, and they are good to the eyes, and they are very, very tasty, guys. You need to try this recipe. Enjoy.